Assalamu alaikum, students. We are going to start our next lecture on hanging. It is lecture number 10, and I have displayed the paragraph that we are going to discuss today. And you know that we've been explaining and discussing this whole essay paragraph-wise. So let me provide you context of this passage or paragraph. This passage describes the final moments before execution when the prisoner is already on the gallows. We discussed it in the previous, rather, we read it in the previous paragraph. The focus is on the final cry, the reactions of others, and the emotional intensity of the moment. Simply, we can say that this is the emotional climax where the prisoner's humanity becomes most visible. Before that, it was not. Let's start reading sentences. We stood waiting 5 yards away. It's a short sentence, and our narrator is narrating. The observers, our narrator is also among the observers. They are physically close. The distance is not far, but they are not directly involved. They are watching it, they are observing it, but they are not part of they are not part of execution. They're near enough to see everything, but they are not part of this action. This shows emotional distance. Emotionally, they are far, but physically, obviously, they are part of it. They are watching, but they don't have any feelings. So, physical involvement is there, but emotional involvement is not existing. It's missing. That is the main point of our essay. The warders had formed in a rough circle round the gallows. Again, description. Uh, this sentence shows that uh, the officials or the warders who are holding him, they have surrounded the prisoner. And when we say surrounded, it means a circle. They're circling him. So here a circle means there is no escape for him from any side. He cannot run away. They have ensured that he cannot run away. So this emphasizes complete control and isolation of the prisoner. He is isolated. He is hopeless. He is helpless. And they have ensured that he remains isolated. And then when the noose was fixed last moments, the prisoner began crying out on his God. This marks an emotional turning point. Now, see, the prisoner is turning to religion. We also do the same when we are in trouble. When we think that we are going to lose our life, what we do, we turn ourselves to God. We start praying. You can take example of earthquake. When earthquake comes, usually in Islamabad, you see what we do. We start praying. So we turn ourselves to God. So he's doing the same. It is his last moment, the last moments, and we anticipate that the next moment he will not be alive. And this is the moment of death. And at this moment, he calls on something higher than the system, who's superior to all, as our belief. This shows fear, it shows hope, and it shows spiritual dependence. When we are hopeless, we turn ourselves to God to show us some path, help us. He's doing the same. The prisoner is doing the same. It was a high, reiterated cry of Ram, 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 Ram. So his repetition, he's repeating the God's name. His emphasize that repetition basically is emphasizing intensity, how intense his feelings are, his emotions are. And repeating the name of God shows urgency and emotional pressure. He's expecting something to happen, or he is expecting that when he dies, he goes to heavens, or he'll be under the protection of God. This highlights the prisoner's deep emotional and spiritual state, not urgent and fearful like a prayer or a cry for help, but steady, rhythmical. He's crying, he's taking the name of God, and his cry becomes controlled and patterned. It has an order, and it shows that it is no longer panic. It becomes automatic. It becomes repetitive. He's repeating it automatically. This suggests that he is shifting, or his emotions are shifting from fear to acceptance or spiritual focus. The shift is changed. The focus is changed. Before that, it is fear. But now it is the moment where he is accepting, and he has turned his focus on spirituality, almost like the tolling of a bell. Now, see, we find a simile. His crying is compared to the sound to a bell. The bell, the way bell tolls, he is crying like that. He's calling God like that. And it is also a simile in this sense that usually, not in all religions, especially in Christianity, a bell often rings at funerals. This symbolizes, this tolling of a bell symbolizes death and creates a solemn, serious atmosphere, the atmosphere where everyone is serious, where everyone is showing, where everyone is solemn. Now, the dog answers the sound with a whine. Now, dog comes again in the picture. Dog is reacting emotionally when he listens or when he hears the sound. He reacts emotionally. Look at it. Here, animals respond. We see that animals respond naturally. They are without social conditioning. Are they better than human beings who follow social conditioning? here in such kind of situation. The dog's response reinforces the emotional intensity of the moment. Even an animal who does know what is happening, he is responding to it emotionally. The hangman, still standing on the gallows, produced a small cotton bag like a flour bag and drew it down over the prison's face, almost the end. A routine step in execution. The hangman knows what he has to do. He has to cover the face. He has to remove identity. When you are covering face, it means you are removing identity or you are hiding identity. This shows control and dehumanization. You are again treating a prisoner or person like objects. But the sound muffled by the cloth still persisted. The voice is still continued. It is coming out of that bag too, though his face is being covered, but still they can hear the sound of Ram, 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 Ram over and over again and again, continuously. So it creates emotional atmosphere there. It also shows that system is trying to silence him, to make him dumb, to force him not to say anything. But the system is failed here. It is abortive. Still, the voice is coming. The system cannot fully stop his voice. They have controlled each and everything, each and every step with power, but here they look helpless. This shows that human expression continues even under control. This is very important point. We should remember whatever you do with a human being, it is impossible that human expression can be controlled. Its intensity can be reduced, but you cannot control it completely. And then he says, and over again, Ram, 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 Ram. This repetition continues until the end, almost 5 times. The word Ram is uttered or said. So we see that the voice does not stop. It keeps coming. It keeps repeating. He is repeating the word. He's repeating, calling the name of God. He does not stop. So this repetition symbolizes persistence of faith and human spirit. Though he's a criminal, but he has also faith in God. He also has spirituality. So let's come to the literary techniques. It's a sad paragraph that we have done today, we are doing. You'll find repetition here. 2 times we have observed repetition of the word Ram. And this repetition, this word is the dominating phrase or word throughout the passage. if we say this word is dominating the passage, it is not wrong. So repetition is showing intensity. Repetition is showing focus. It is emphasizing the prisoner's emotional and spiritual state. Before that, we didn't see, but now we see how emotional he is, how spiritual he is. He's showing faith in his God. He's showing confidence in his God. Now, again, we will find a literary device here that is a simile, like the tolling of a bell. We see that a bell is associated with death and funerals. So that simile reinforces the idea of approaching death. It is symbolizing death, that it is almost, it has approached. There's no escape. It is a final moment. Then we see imagery. As throughout this essay, we've been observing strong auditory imagery. So here we find again crying, whine, muffled. All these words are basically showing imagery and auditory imagery. We don't just see the scene, we also hear it. This makes the moment more real and emotionally powerful. It looks as if it's happening in front of us. Then we find symbolism. We see objects and sounds that carry deeper meaning. Here we find 3 words or phrases that represent or they symbolize something or ideas. The word Ram is representing faith as well as spirituality. The bell is representing death, symbolizing death. And the cloth, it is representing silencing. So together, they show conflict between human spirit and control. Let's come to the themes. We see spirituality in the face of death. When you are facing death, you show some kind of spirituality. You show faith in religion. You turn to religion. You turn to God. Here the prisoner turns to religion, turns to God. He calls Ram repeatedly, again and again, for many times, in a controlled way. So we can say that faith always becomes the final support for someone who's dying or someone who's helpless or hopeless or who's under control, who's controlled by force. He looks towards God. So another theme is humanity of the condemned. Condemned mean the person here, he's our prisoner. He's condemned. He's been punished for his crime, for his mistake, for his sins. So the prisoner is expressing emotion and awareness here. He's thinking, he has feelings, and even he is reacting to that moment. He remains fully human until the end. Though they have tried him, they have treated him like an animal, or they have treated him like an object, but see, till the end, he is pure human being. Then due dehumanization and control, we see that the system that is executing the prisoner is suppressing individuality. He's an individual. Prisoner is individual. So they are trying to dehumanize him. They are trying to treat him as if he is an object. And we see here the cloth covers his face and voice. So we see that the system is trying to erase identity, trying to silence the voice. But we see system is abortive here. Their effort is abortive here. Then we see that death is inevitable. It is also a theme here. We see that the execution is already set. Everything is prepared and controlled. And now we observe that death cannot be avoided. It cannot be escaped. It is inevitable. It is the ultimate choice right now. Then we see emotional impact of death. When death comes to anyone, what kind of emotions that person shows. So this scene is creating strong emotional response. We all can feel because we have to die. Everyone has to die. Then dogs crying and bell-like sound intensify the moment. And we see that death affects not just the victim, but everyone present. If you see someone dying, once I saw, long time ago, almost 7 years ago, in hospital, I saw a person dying. He was completely okay. And suddenly, he started choking in his bed. And it took 3 to 4 minutes. And the person died. It was Friday afternoon. And we didn't eat anything. And there was utter silence in the whole hall. All patients, nobody was talking, nobody was eating. And it was lunchtime, but all of them were silent because his death affected the whole atmosphere, our emotions, our feelings. And still, it's fresh in my memory. And right now I'm discussing, so I'm feeling goosebumps. Emotionally, still I'm hurt because I'm feeling emotion. I'm feeling pain, or the same moment. It is almost 27 years back, but still, it is. I just when I'm telling you, the whole picture is moving in front of my eyes. So it is the truth. It is the fact. It's reality that we cannot deny. Then let me discuss writer style. As we've been discussing that George Orwell uses simple, direct, and controlled language, but it has a very strong impact, very powerful. He avoids dramatic exaggeration, like the exaggeration we found in the story, The Telltale Heart. But this essay, it's narrated like a story, but see, we don't find dramatic exaggeration. The writer's focus is on sound here. His focus is on a repetition of words here. Through the sound and repetition, he's creating a powerful emotional impact. And it makes the scene more realistic and emotionally powerful. It looks more realistic. Let me critically analyze it in a very short paragraph. This paragraph is representing the emotional climax of this essay. It is the final moment, emotional moment. You can feel it if you read it with intense focus. You can feel it as if you are there in front of that prisoner who's going to be executed. Generally, if you see, it contrasts human expression with mechanical execution. Comparison, we find comparison throughout the whole essay. The prisoner is crying out, he's expressing faith, he's showing fear, but at the same time, the system continues its routine steps. The system does not stop. The system does not feel anything. It is without emotions. So two forces exist together if we find in this paragraph human emotion and spirit. And then second one is mechanical authority and control. They are existing together. They are side by side, though they are opposite to each other. So this contrast is the central idea. If you feel, if you observe, the system is trying to silence the prisoner, but his voice does not stop. It continues. So simply we can say that Orwell is showing that human spirit cannot be completely suppressed. You cannot take complete freedom from a human being. Whatever you do, how you deal with that situation, how much force you use, but you still cannot suppress someone completely, even at the moment of death. Even the person is going to die. This becomes a strong critique of capital punishment. The end of this paragraph is very, very critical of capital punishment, of execution, raising questions, criticizing it, not directly, but between the lines. You can feel the punch. Now let me conclude it. If you see, this paragraph is highlighting the emotional and spiritual intensity of the moment before execution. We see that through repetition, sound imagery, and symbolism, a writer is successfully showing the emotional and spiritual intensity of it. Generally, Orwell presents the prisoner as a fully human individual here. The system is treating him like an animal or like an object, but our writer is representing him as a human being, as an individual who has feelings, who has emotions, who has faith, who is just like a human being, who is still showing some kind of freedom, though he's suppressed. So we can say in our concluding remarks that the human voice continues even as the system prepares to destroy it. We can also find the same reference to our daily routine matters. We are suppressed, but still we show freedom. Still we show resistance, resilience. So it makes the act of execution, if you see, I have given you one example from our routine. So we see that human voice cannot be silenced, cannot be destroyed. So this makes the act of execution deeply disturbing, right? So we find that the indirect criticism is on the act of execution. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, you can ask me. I hope you will understand this paragraph, this passage. It's very simple, it's very easy, but very emotional, having powerful impact. And I hope you will enjoy it. Uh, I don't know either enjoy the using the word enjoying for this whole passage or for this essay will be the most appropriate one. But still, we have to read it. Thank you for watching.